All right, so today what we're going to learn about is how to make a logo in Corel and then import it into Fusion and allow us to 3D print in two colors. Okay, so what we're going to do first is we're going to go to the internet and find a image of what we are looking for. So for example, I'm going to do the Cleveland Guardians, this image right here. What we're looking for is kind of something that has two colors to it. That's the idea, because what we're going to do is do two colors. So one color, two colors. So I'm going to download this. All right, right here. And then I am going to open up Corel Draw. Okay, so when I go to Corel Draw, I am now going to import what I just downloaded. Now, the reason we want to go to Corel first is Corel has a much better way to make this a vector versus just importing it directly into Fusion. So we are then going to go outline trace. And this, we're going to hope it's a high quality image and see how it goes. And we're going to try to specify color. And we're going to go in and see if we can remove from the entire object, but then hold down shift if there's any extra stuff. And if you look, I think this will be good. So in this case, this is a pretty good image because if you look at it, do you see how it looks pretty clean and you have two different colors? All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete that original image and I'm going to press OK. All right, so this will still work. All right, this isn't ideal because it's not two layers, but we can still make it work. All right, so now I ungrouped because I don't want this, and now we have this by itself. All right, so we have all this that is a vector. Now we can do one of two things. I want two layers here, so I'm going to take this and then I'm going to go up to contour and I'm going to try to make a contour, but it looks like there's no outline to this. So maybe that could also be the issue. So I'm going to give it a hairline outline. There we go. That looks good. And then I am going to turn off the fill. So it was what I wanted. See? So before I did anything crazy, see how when I turned off the fill and gave it a hairline, see how it's this double thing? That's what I'm looking for right here. All right, so if you look at this, what we then have is we want to make it approximately the right size. It's going to make our life easier in the long run. So we're going to make it about 2.5 inches long by about 1 inch. So we don't want it any bigger than that. So about 2.5 inches right there by 1 inch. That should work. And then we're going to move it up into this top right corner. All right. Now, once we have this, it's about 2.5 by 1. We are then going to export this. All right. Now, what we want to export it as, it defaults to a PDF. We want to export it as what we call an SVG. All right. So you might have to scroll down to find SVG. I've already done this, so it's the first thing that came up. So SVG, and then realize what you named it, and you can put it in documents. So then if we export and click OK, if we go now to Fusion, all right, and make a new file, we can now create a sketch, all right, and we can insert a SVG. All right, so we're going to insert an SVG. We're going to find it on our computer. And if we look, what did I save it as? Did I save it as Wildcat? I might have saved it as Wildcat on accident. Let's see what it looks like. Yes, so I saved it as Wildcat. I messed up there, but it'll be okay. So now what we want to do is we want to center this. All right. We also want to make it small. All right. So sometimes it does it on its own, but what we want to do is make it the size that we're looking for. So see how this is still like 5 inches. We want to make it smaller so that it's about the right size. All right, this is going to help you in the long run. So this is pretty close. All right, if it's not perfect, it's not the end of the world, but it should be close. You don't want a huge image. All right, so now we're okay. So now we have a sketch. Do you see how it all pops up? So now what we're going to do is we're just going to, all we got to do now is finish our sketch and basically extrude. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit E to extrude. I'm going to highlight that whole thing and I am going to extrude. Now what I want to do though is I want to extrude it down, and I'm going to extrude it down 0.1 inches. It's important that we do 0.1. All right, so it's probably going to be negative down, but we want 0.1. All right, we're going to click OK. Now we have this. Notice the sketch turns off. So if we turn the sketch back on, we are now going to extrude up a distance of 0.1. Now, in this case, though, we don't want to extrude everything. We want to extrude the stuff that will allow you to see that image really nice. So do you see how we got everything that we want right there? And we don't want a new body. We want to join. All right. So now in this case, we are going to go up 0.1. All right. So if we do that, look what we got. And actually, instead, sorry, we're not going to go up 0.1. We're going to go up 0.05. That's going to make our lives a little bit easier. So we're going to go from there up. So then we're going to click OK. So if you look and turn off that sketch, you see what we just made. We didn't have to do any outlining, anything of the above. Now we have a real nice image. Now, the only issue with this, and so this will be a slight problem, is that look what's going to happen. This whole thing right here is one, and then this right here is a separate one. All right, so this isn't the greatest thing to use unless we somehow connect those two. So for this video, we're just going to act like it's going to work well. But when we 3D print this, it's going to print this and then a G on its own. All right. So now I'm going to go to Utilities, and we're going to go to Make, and we're going to click. We're going to click these things that we want. All right. Oh, we're also going to have this. So we're going to click this, hold down Shift, or just highlight everything. Or I guess we can just click up here. All right. And now we'll have this. We'll say Guardians. All right. And that's the STL file. Okay. After that, we're going to go to Prusa. All right. And we are going to bring that in. All right. So if we do that, we're going to add, and we're going to click Guardians. All right. And see how what we have right there. All right. So that looks pretty good. We are now going to right-click Guardians, go down to Add Settings, and we are going to click on Ironing. This makes the top look really good. All right, so we're going to enable ironing and click on it. All right, so I'm going to hit Slice Now. Notice what pops up. It says Sliced Object looks like a logo or sign. Apply Color Change, and we want to click on that. All right, when we do that, see what happens. It's going to pause the 3D print right there and then keep on going. All right, so go ahead and slice now. And then you are going to export your G code to the building share, and you're going to put it in South Student ID 2023 and your period. So for example, I'm in period 7-8 right now. We are going to put in our folder. We're going to say logo two-tone. All right. And then we are going to double click on that, and we are going to save it right there. All right, and then we're done.